Dave. Valerie Nelson brought a lot of guests today, so I'm going to announce all of them, and please give them a warm Kiwanis welcome. First is Drew Doerschmidt. Hey, Drew. Beth Work. Beth, where are you? Julia Steele. Hey, Julia. Of course, our speaker, Carl Weeks, and his lovely his lovely wife, Shauna. Where are you, Shauna? Welcome. And Ross Hodges. I can't see you. You have to stand up. There you are. Okay, good deal. Then Lorna McWatt. And James Wisner. And Jean Brown. Now, to our other guests. Greg Bussell has Sandra Knowles. Where are you, Sandra? Welcome. David Grantham has Mike Chaplinsky. Where's Mike? Greg Bussell has Corky Taylor. Where are you, Corky? And Steve Tinsworth has his son, John Tinsworth. Welcome to all of you. Hope you'll come back and visit us real soon.
Okay, thank you, Diana. And now, Tom Mosley with the video of the week.
I'll have to find out where they hid it. When I leave, Jeb cleans up the desktop. I'd just like to take a point of personal privilege. In 1985, I went on the board of the Bradenton unit of the Boys and Girls Club, and Carl Weeks was the executive director of the club at that time. And he got all of the board members involved in coaching the kids. And I coached baseball with people like Jack Hawkins and Bruce Braithwaite and a number of other people in the community. And that was really the beginning of my involvement with Boys and Girls Club. And one of the kids that I coached there was killed by a gang member. And it really made me realize that, no matter how good a job we do with our kids, there's still others we need to reach. And I've been able to watch Carl over not all 42 years, but about 28 of those years. And there's nobody in Manatee County that's done more for the kids and is more passionate about kids in Manatee County. So thank you, Carl, for all you've done.
And with that, it's my pleasure to ask Valerie Nelson to introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Fantastic. Before I introduce our speaker, most of you probably don't know who he is, so I'll take a little time to do that. From a personal perspective, I moved here in 2000. In 2001, I met Mr. Carl Weeks after being asked to be on a special event committee. And I think you kind of stalked me for a couple of times there. You showed up at Taylor Rental where my husband and I worked. Kept, come on, take a tour, come on, take a tour. And all of a sudden I was on the board. And our very own Kay Rowlett, who rests in peace, and Diana Davis were my sponsors. Kay was on the board of the Boys and Girls Clubs at the time, and then of course an active member here, brought me into this organization. So I want to thank Diana and Kay, Boys and Girls Club, for the opportunity to join Kiwanis in 2001. So I was board member for a couple of years, and then inevitably a few years later in 2007, I was blessed to be hired to raise money for the Boys and Girls Clubs in Manatee County under Carl Weeks's dedication and leadership. And I can say to you personally, and obviously he's retiring now, so this is not brown-nosing, because it's not going to benefit me at this point, but from the bottom of my heart, he has been a mentor, a solid leader, a friend. He has taught me more lessons in life, I think, in such a short period of time than I have learned in other things and careers I've had in my lifetime. In addition, he has allowed us to grow as individuals as well as professionals. And his passion and dedication for children in this community, like Tom Mosley said, is so infectious that he has paved the way for the future to continue to serve more children. That is his ultimate goal. He will obviously get up here and tell you a little bit more about myself, but I will tell you it's with a very heavy heart, but I'm happy for his time to rest. But I know his ghost will be around, and I know your phone numbers, I know where you live, I know all that, so I'll be stalking you next. So please give a warm welcome to Carl Weeks.
Good afternoon. One thing Valerie told me was that we had an hour to speak, and I was trying to think of how I could fill that hour, but I think we'll just try to get it into about 12 minutes. I want to talk about partnerships for a moment. 1946 is when the Kiwanis Club of Bradenton and the Community Chest founded the Boys Club on 9th Street. And think about that. Community Chest is now what? The United Way. So between the United Way and Kiwanis, they decided that there was certainly a need for young men to be involved in a variety of opportunities. And in 1955, I decided to take that opportunity. My father and I went to the Bradenton Club to join me up, walked in the front door, and a gentleman, I can remember his name, Harris Strickland. Harris Strickland said, "I know Elvis." Well, I don't know if he did or didn't, but they wouldn't accept me because I was 7. You had to be 8. So tears go down the eyes a little bit, and Dad puts his arm around me and he says, "Hey, it's okay. We'll get you in when you turn 8. Bought me a 5-cent pack of baseball cards. I'm sure Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris and all of those were in there, but I blew it up in the bicycle spokes, so who knows. But in 1956, I walked in that door on November 26th and never looked back. I didn't realize that the Boys Club at that time had that big of an impact on my life. I was just putzing around thinking I was going to go to college and, be a banker or a lawyer or whatever. But when I did graduate from the University of South Florida, and boy, I don't want to talk about their football program, but they'll turn it around. There was an opportunity. It knocked on the door, and it said, "Carl, where's your passion? What really matters to you? What cares? What is it going to be?" And I walked into the Bradenton Club, and lo and behold, they didn't have any job openings. But they did say there was a job opening in Gainesville. So I drove to Gainesville, for some reason was hired, and worked there for 16 months, and then moved back to Bradenton at the DeSoto Club on 34th Street. Little did I know that 42 years later, I'd be standing here speaking, excuse me, to you folks about a career that I can't believe that I spent this amount of time doing something that I love. And what I'd love when you talk about partners, just briefly, if you would show your hands if you have ever been a Boys and Girls Club member, a Boys Club member, a board member of the Boys and Girls Club, or a volunteer. Thank you. Thank you so much what you have done for children. And back 4 years ago, the Kiwanis Club International and Boys and Girls Clubs of America formed a partnership. And I think we need to keep that partnership going and making it stronger. I know you folks are involved in selling Christmas trees each year. Keep that up. But if there's any way, shape, or form that we can go and maybe have a grant come the Boys and Girls Club way, that'd be wonderful too. But partnerships are so important. In 1972, I was more or less thrown the keys of the DeSoto Club on 34th Street, and we needed to grow facility-wise. And quite frankly, the Kiwanis Club provided the 4 acres. on the corner of 34th Street and 53rd Avenue. We started our baseball program, and it started to grow. One of the proudest moments I have in my career was bringing T-ball, believe it or not, T-ball to Manatee County. There was no Little League, nothing. Boys and Girls Club founded T-ball. And the Kiwanis Club, through Stan Lujak, was very instrumental of helping provide the extra 4 acres there on 34th Street. And we named it after Stan, that 4 acres. And it's, again, a strong supporter of Kiwanis. One of your fellow members, Bob Sweat, I had the opportunity, believe it or not, Bob and I worked at the Bradenton Club together. Tells how old I am. I don't know what it means about Bob, but we all worked together for children. But now here we are in 2013, and a lot of things have changed in our organization, and quite frankly, I think it's for the best. In 1991, we decided that baseball wasn't our biggest game in town. Little League provided a great program. And so our fields, you would walk out there on a windy day, dust would be flying everywhere, dirt flying everywhere, kids rubbing their eyes. This is not what's best for kids. And we decided to stop the baseball program. We certainly would provide transportation and help kids go to Little League, but that wasn't our mark to fame. So now what we're doing is providing a well-rounded program for thousands of children. We served 6,000 children last year, and our goal this year is to serve more kids. And how are we going to do that? Well, if you recall, you folks closed Kiwanis Hall a couple months ago. Historic moment. Well, here's another one. We're ceasing our programs at the Bradenton Club on 9th Street. And the reason why, the building, again, built in 1951, it's tired, to say the least. And what we're trying to do is serve more kids. So what did we went to Orange Ridge Elementary, right down the street. Lo and behold, when we opened up, the first day, 150 kids. 150 kids. We have a waiting list now of 75 kids. So we're talking about 225 kids in a week. How are we going to bring them in? We've got to find a way to raise the money to serve these kids. And we're talking also with Ballard Elementary. Similar demographics as Orange Ridge. We just have to find the funds to make this happen. Schools have taken to the Boys and Girls Club program. And when I really want to talk about, JB, when you were talking a little bit about TSA, we have 3 children right now that are enrolled in MIT through the TSA program at Southeast High that we have a club at. That's 3 kids, MIT. And then not a slam on MTI, but this is a testament of the strength and how we're able to serve kids and make a difference in their lives. And I am very proud of that. But there's still things we need to do. We need to build a new facility on 34th Street or some other property in Manatee County. We need to look at how to serve more kids. It's scary. It is really scary out there. I've driven through a lot of the areas in town that you see young people out there and you wonder, why are they not in a Boys and Girls Club or some other program? It's because they don't have the support at home that will help them make the proper decisions. We end up having to be mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever it is, so that we can make a difference in the lives of kids. Willie Cooper, for an example. Willie is the director at our Palmetto Club. I hired Willie when he was in high school. He stayed with us almost as long as I have. And he is the ultimate professional, that he can take the time and go into families' houses and make a difference in lives of children. And that's what we've got to constantly do, is give them hope and opportunity. You saw the promo, the Blue Door, okay? Open the door and take a tour. Pick up the phone and give us a call, 1-800. No, let us know. We want to show you the great things that we're doing for kids. I'd like to spend a couple minutes if anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask. always had a priority, 3 priorities in life: God, family, and work. Some days I'd struggle to make sure I'd get them in the right order, but at least I had those 3 priorities. And now I'm going to be down to 2 priorities, but I think that's so important. We all have to really look at our family, look at God, and make the decisions to do the right thing for our children. And I appreciate everything that this club has done for the community. Actually, it was the Boys and Girls Clubs at one time was getting around $100,000 a year for operations. I don't know what happened there, but we certainly could consider a couple hundred or a couple thousand a year, but that's neither here nor there. Ms. McRae, thank you. Your husband was one of the people instrumental in my period of time at the Bradenton Club. Hal worked at the Bradenton Club, and there's quite a few people that have had their lives changed by this organization, and we've got to continue. Got to continue to make a difference in the lives of children. One of the biggest stats that I like and I really believe in is 25% of the population are children, but they're 100% of our future. And we've got to keep plugging. Because they're the ones that are going to support me in my retirement. And oh, by the way, if you have a part-time job, you may want to give me a call. Not looking, but I certainly would work. But thank you for all you do for the community, and God bless.
We've got a couple minutes if you want to ask some questions.
Anybody have any? Yes, sir, Mr. Bill.
Kids at 9th Street now, where are they going to go to, and when do you expect to close the building?
Good questions. We have transporting kids over to our DeSoto Club. We've got about 20 a day that were going there, going to the DeSoto Club. There were 40 kids a day that were going to the Bradenton Club from Orange Ridge. They're now sitting after school at their current place. 40 of them were going from Johnson Middle School to the Bradenton Club. They're now operating out of the school at Johnson. So we didn't displace kids. We made sure that there were opportunities for them and didn't want to leave anyone behind. We're transporting kids back to the DeSoto or Bradenton Club if need be as a hub where the parents can pick them up. So we made every opportunity affordable for them. I wish I knew. We've got a couple dates in mind. We're not running program currently out of it, but we are having staff located there. It should be within the month. Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about your successor and kind of his goals for the future?
I think Tom Mosley would be a great person to give that answer. I've never had the opportunity, John, to shake his hand. I have talked to him numerous times on the telephone, and I will certainly shake his hand on October 1st, and really look forward to, I'm not going to look over this gentleman's shoulder. He's a professional. He's going to do well, and our staff will make sure he's successful, as well as our board.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I got to get a small podium, but I know you have a lot of these. Thank you for your service over the years. And on behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Bradenton, that's the Kiwanis Golden Rule. The last as the Boys and Girls Club president, if you will, but now I'm sure we're going to see you back doing great things in other capacities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just real quick.
Sorry, it's me again. On the table, there are these cards that says the Carl Weeks Great Futures Fund. It's an honor for him and for us all the time he's given us. And so in memory of his years of service for our organization, that would be a great way to provide support for current operating dollars and for this new club programming in Carl's name. I knew he wasn't going to say anything about it because he's a humble man, but Please do consider that as his 42 years of service and dedication. Thank you.